All right, this is Entrepreneurship 1, Objective 2.09, which is to describe entrepreneur planning considerations. The basic structure of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs discover an entrepreneurial opportunity when they find a compelling solution to an unsolved problem or unsatisfied need. The financial needs to start a new business depend on the nature of the venture. The first step in an entrepreneur venture is to identify a real opportunity. The second step is to create a plan to address that opportunity. An entrepreneur considers venture location and financial needs during the planning process. And then the third step is to execute that plan. Business planning is the process of setting goals, explaining the objectives, and then mapping out a document to achieve these goals and objectives. And you guessed it, that document is your business plan. Effective business planning is critical to long-term success and the ability to raise capital and grow successfully. Effective business planning requires a considerable amount of time. An entrepreneur considers the location and financial needs of a business venture during the planning process. The production process is an operational issue that entrepreneurs must consider when planning their businesses. Types of business planning. You have strategic planning and tactical planning. Strategic planning is setting and enforcement of goals. It is a roadmap of strategies on what the business intends to do to meet the goals and objectives. The tactical planning contains the details of executing your strategies. So it describes how you plan to meet the objectives. Strategy is the thinking process required to plan a change, course of action, or organization. Strategic planning defines or outlines the desired goals and why you should go about achieving them. The strategic planning phase involves business thinkers, namely the small business owner, determining why and in a global sense what you will achieve in your stated goals. When doing strategic planning, you need to determine specifically what outcome you want to achieve. These are your objectives, and you also need to determine how you will measure the results. Tactical planning requires the understanding and deciphering of the strategic goals, then identifying the courses of action needed to achieve those strategic objectives. Tactical planning is developed by those who deal with getting the work done day by day. The main question for them is how can these strategic goals be accomplished within the designated limits of resources and authority. Tactical planning is actions taken day to day whose results will move the company forward to achieve the objectives in the strategic plan. The business plan. It is a proposal that describes a new business. It is presented to potential investors and lenders. A well-written business plan lays out the best growth path and strategy, as well as the rationale for the selection of the strategy over other alternatives. A business plan is the explanation of why the plan for building the company makes sense, what resources it will need to implement the vision, who the team will be that will have the skills and leadership to execute the vision, and what path they will follow to get there. The components of a business plan. And we've already started working on ours, so these should be familiar with you. The executive summary, the product or service plan, the management team plan, the industry or market analysis, the operational plan, The organizational plan, the marketing plan, the financial plan, growth plan, the executive summary. It is a brief recounting or summarizing of the key points contained in a business plan. Investors and lenders rely on this to decide if the concept interests them. It should be no longer than 2 pages, and it should include the most important information from each section of the plan. So it is written last. So that's why we did not start out with the executive summary. It is written last, and again, it should include the most important information from each section of the plan. The product or service plan. Here you should list the mission statement, the presentation of the product or service you are offering, the nature of your business, any unique features of your product or service, and any possible spin-offs that might occur, additional products or services that might be offered once the business is established. So you got to think about your product and where it's going to go, the benefits and features of you using your product in comparison to your competition. The management team plan. Present entrepreneurs' qualifications and those of any partners involved in the business venture. Analyze expertise you're missing and how you would solve that problem. Describe any advisory board members, board of directors, or board of directors that would assist in getting the business started. That should be listed in the plan. The industry or market analysis. It convinces the readers that an explosive market opportunity does exist for your organization. It presents research into the industry and market. It analyzes customers, your competition, and the industry as a whole. It gives information about the prospective geographic location, economic, and demographic data. The operational plan. It includes all processes involved in producing and or delivering the product or service to the customer, the status of product development, any equipment inventory production, the time and money that's going to be needed. Also includes the distribution plan. So what are your channels of distribution? Direct channel, delivery directly to the customer. Indirect channel, a product sold to someone before it reaches the customer. Customer, which is your wholesaler. The production process is an operational issue that entrepreneurs must consider when planning their business. The organizational plan. People aspects of the business includes management philosophy, a legal form of the company, which is talking about is it an LLC, incorporated, or whatever that form of the company is. Who are your key management personnel? That CEO or that chief financial officer, and who in the company, and the key employment policies. So that would include your employee handbook that should be included in the organizational plan. The marketing plan. How your company makes its customers aware of its products or services. It includes your market segment, your pricing policy, the company image, any marketing strategies that you plan to use in that business plan for your business, the promotional plan, and the marketing budget. And it gives you an example of a promotional plan. When planning for her new business, Janine allocates 2% of the company's estimated annual sales to web and newspaper advertising. So that's how they plan to promote that business. The financial plan. The financial plan presents the forecast for the future of the business. You're going to include assumptions made when calculating your forecast figures. You'll have a sales forecast, which is a tool that an entrepreneur develops to project sales for a new business venture. It is usually in the form of financial statements. And then you have a promotional budget that should be developed when planning for a new business. For example, an entrepreneur may allocate 2% of the estimated annual sales of the company to web and newspaper advertising, so to internet and newspaper advertising. The growth plan. Look at how the business will expand in the future. Investors and lenders look to see if the business has the potential and the plans to grow over its life. So it's important for you to include this in your business plan, because that's what they're going to depict. How will I make money in the future if I invest in this organization? That's what they're thinking. And then these are the sources used to complete this set of notes for Objective 2.09. Thank you and have a nice day.